You, Griselda, has the minister made an appearance yet?
Well, a very good morning to you once again, Eben. Well, the visuals that you're seeing just on your screen at this point are of some of the relatives of those that remain trapped underground. They say they're now preparing to go underground. They say that the rescue mission that has been trying since over the weekend to try and rescue those that remain trapped has been fruitless, and they're saying they're now prepared to go underground themselves. You know, of course, that the rescue operation had been suspended. It remains suspended because of the smoke detection. They detected some smoke underground. So the situation is quite dangerous. And at this point, we're waiting for the Mineral Resources Minister, Mosebenzi Zwane, to make his way here. And certainly that will give an indication of whether this rescue mission will continue here this morning. We understand he's currently in a meeting at the police station, which is not too far away. The Johannesburg Emergency Services. So I think when he arrives here a bit later on this morning, he will give an indication of how this rescue mission, if at all it does resume, will continue. But for those who are just tuning in at the moment, that is the hole right there where just a few minutes ago, about 20 minutes there, Eben, where another group of miners who had been underground also surfaced. And we're not sure at this stage if they're part of the group that were trapped underground. The three that did emerge a bit earlier on this morning did give an indication of the fact that they were part of that group that was trapped, and they explained in grave detail there about how dangerous the situation is and how they were being choked by smoke underground and managed to gain safe passage coming out of this disused mine at this stage. So no indication at this stage, Eben, about what really is going to happen next. But I think of major concern at this point is the fact that these relatives who have been distraught, have been irate since this morning and saying there's absolutely no activity going on here. They're concerned that as the hours continue to go by, that really does put their relatives in a very difficult situation, saying they're fearing for their relatives' lives and that this operation needs to get underway as well. They're saying they're going to go and get the necessary equipment to try and gain entry into this disused mine. Speaking to the police just a few minutes ago, well, the police are essentially saying they're not going to allow anyone to go into this mine because of the dangerous situation, and anyone who does so would certainly do so at their own peril. So, you know, the situation here at the moment is of these gentlemen you can see here behind me who are saying that they cannot stand and fold their arms while their relatives remain underground at this point. So essentially what we're waiting for at this point, in terms of a police presence, there's just a few police officers here and there, but nothing essentially to stop these relatives from going underground. They say they cannot stand and fold their arms while their relatives remain there, and there's no indication whatsoever at this point whether the rescue mission itself will resume. So I'm going to try and speak to one of these gentlemen, if at all, they will speak to us at this point. Butwam, baningasondela kancinci nje butwam ngapha sike sithethe nawe butwam. Nilinde ntoni ke ngoku apha khawusondele kancinci butwam? Oh, okay ke butwam. Kodwa ke nisamile ke ngoku apha bhuti, nilinde abanye nje ukuthi baphume. Sorry.
Silinde abanye ukuthi baphume. Lava ngalanda abantu laba sephansi la. Izulu kodwa ngisazi madala. Oh.
Abanye ke ngoku laba besebephumile. Aba part of their group awungasondela kancinci tata besike sathetha nawe a bit earlier on. Ke ngoku bhuti aba baphumile, the 6 miners who've just come from underground, are they part of the group that was trapped?
No. Abantu banengi abaphansi laba ngabaphuma kwamanye amathonela. Ayisibo kule party okunabantu khona aba serious. No.
Jeba kuthiwa ke ngoku abanye bayolanda izinto bafuna ukungena apha ngaphakathi.
Laba abalanda izinto ngabafuna ukulanda bona labo ukutonela. Laba abahleleke khona ukungena laba izolo.
Ke ngoku ningafuna ntoni ku Minister of Mineral Resources kuthiwa uzawufika apha azowujonga isimo ukuthi sinjani, and ningafuna ntoni kuye nje malungana nesi simo sikhoyo apha?
Inceda ngakho. Thina singafuna amatorch kuphela. Amatorch nje iyo esingafuna ngoba lami nginje mfuna ungena phakathi.
Awoyiki.
Hayi cha. Angeyike ungena. Ngilinde nje itotshe ukuthi ibuye ngene. Yebo. Ngoba lo tshonile umfowethu omunye. Yebo.
Enabakamlandi usekhona pha ngaphakathi.
Usephakathi yebo. Abakamlandi.
Essentially, what this gentleman is saying is that they're waiting for some of the other relatives to bring some torches so that they're able to go underground and retrieve, for example, the body of one of his relatives who he says is still underground. And certainly those are the reports that we're getting from the police at this stage, that one person has died, but that body remains underground at this stage. But, many of these relatives continue to wait here. It'll certainly be interesting to hear what the minister will say with regard to whether this rescue mission does resume here this morning. But before the minister, I guess, even gets here at this point, these irate relatives are saying that they're going to go and fetch their relatives themselves. A situation certainly which is of grave concern for the police at this point, as well as, I guess, the minister who will come here at this point. Elvis, we've been covering the issue relating to illegal mining in South Africa for a very long time. You'd recall about 2 years back, we went underground on the East Rand, where a lot of this illegal mining activity, has been going on for many years. And certainly what the Department of Mineral Resources has failed to do at this point is to contain the situation. While these disused mines have been closed over the years, these illegal miners open those holes themselves, and that's how they gain entry. And this might not be the only entry and exit point at this mine. There's also concern that some of the illegal miners who have gone in here perhaps may have gone out at another hole that had been dug somewhere else. But there's no clarity at all at this stage about whether that indeed is the case. In terms of the numbers, it's certainly unclear in terms of the numbers at this point, because the 6 miners who emerged just a few minutes ago, we understand, are not part of the group, according to the gentleman we've just spoken to, are not part of the group that was trapped. But the 3 that we reported on earlier did describe the scenes and, the smoke that was detected there, saying it was very difficult for them to breathe. So it's a very difficult situation here at this point, and certainly we'll wait to hear what the Minister of Resources does say. We're seeing some more gentlemen here who are going towards the entrance there, and we presume at this point they're part of those who are saying they are going to risk their lives and go into that hole and go and find their loved ones at this point. But we'll certainly bring you more on that. Stay tuned as well. We'll bring you live that press conference that the Minister of Mineral... As you can see, those live visuals, some of those individuals are now going inside. Live visuals at this point here on SABC News. There you have the relatives of some of the trap miners now going into that hole without any equipment at this stage, without any torches. But they say they're able to navigate this space quite well, and they do not trust the rescue mission that has been brought in here to come and retrieve or to essentially rescue the miners who remain trapped here at this point. So far, the visuals that you just saw, 3 of the relatives of those miners who have been trapped are have gone inside that mine at this stage. So certainly it's going to be a situation where the police will now have their hands full. They did a few minutes ago indicate that whoever goes inside there does so at their own peril. They're certainly unable to contain the situation. Babu K. Makubela, if we can just have a word with you at this point, please. We're live on air at this time. If you could please just join us. Let's just get a very quick update from you. Let me just make some space for you. And the police spokesperson, K. Makubela, let me see if I can just get you into this shot. Just apologize there to the viewers as well, because this is a live broadcast and things are certainly unfolding here. Babu K. Makubela, the spokesperson for the Gauteng police, we've just seen some of the relatives of those who are trapped go inside the mine. It certainly seems like you're unable to contain the situation at the moment.
No, we not to say we are unable to contain the situation. We didn't see that there are people who get in there. And then that is what that's why we put all those red tapes there, that nobody must go down there, because it is dangerous. The mines rescuers was here yesterday, and they've indicated that there is a smoke underneath there. So it is not safe for anyone to go down. So anyone who's going down is going down on his own risk, because really it is not acceptable for a person to go down where it is danger to go and die as well. If they will die. So that's what we are appealing. We have appealed to the people that please, they must not come in and get in here. Let them wait for the mines rescuers until they clear it, and they go and rescue those who are trapped inside there.
But their concern at this point is that as the hours go by, their relatives are at risk. We know what the situation is. You have detected smoke underground, and the 3 illegal miners who surfaced a bit earlier on this morning did indicate that they're unable to breathe.
But that it won't help for them to go down where it is dangerous. They are going to be trapped as well in there. So that's why we are appealing to them. Let them wait. The professional go and assess the place. If it is ready for them to go down, they will go down and assist those people down there. So now if they go, they are adding the numbers who are inside here. So that's why we are appealing. Anyone must not go down. And if anyone go down while watching him, we will arrest those people. Like now, we didn't see that there are people who are going down. Now when we come here, we thought the people are coming out. But now if there are people went down, they must know that really we are going to arrest them. This is illegally, and we don't want people to get to die here. As the police, our job is to protect and serve, and we need people to be protected.
There doesn't seem to be a sufficient a police presence here at all. You are here. We saw 3 other police officers. So certainly these irate relatives don't feel the need. All you can do is appeal at this point, but their concern is what's happening underground. Do you plan to bring in more police to come and contain the situation?
I think if you can look at the back there, you will see more police officers now. You saw that there were 2 officers before, but just look now, there are more police officers. Besides that, these red tapes, it's indicating that people must not go down. It is dangerous. That's what we are appealing. That's why they put those things, is because they want people to be safe.
All right, Kay Makubelo, thank you very much for your time. We'll certainly get some updates from him throughout the course of the day here. What we've just seen is 3 of the relatives of those who remain trapped underground went inside this mine. They say they're tired of waiting. They can't fold their arms while the rescue mission has been halted at this stage. And a clear call by the police there that anyone who goes underground, they're participating in an illegal activity and they will be arrested. But that certainly hasn't seemed to have deterred the relatives of those who remain underground, who are saying that they're not going to comply by that. And certainly it remains to be seen at this point what the Minister of Mineral Resources will say at this point. We know that illegal mining in South Africa is costing the economy billions of rand, and it has been increasing every year. The more these disused mines are closed, these illegal miners who say that's their only source of income, they are going to continue going underground. They've also been saying at this point, there's one of the gentlemen who has just come back from underground at this stage, one also emerging. And what we're seeing is the police are now calling these gentlemen to perhaps question them about what they were doing as they went underground. The police at the stage, whether they will effect an arrest at this point certainly remains to be seen. Stay with us here on SABC News, and what certainly looks like police are going to take some action at this point.
Griselda, can I ask you a question?
Some of these gentlemen who have now...
Griselda, can I ask you a question? While this is happening, just tell us about the mood there, because we know the high levels of violence amongst these miners.
Please, that place is not safe for those people. Bangangeni phakathi abalinde bazothi mababuyile laba bantu bazo-assessa le phakathi, then laba bantu bazobalanda leni. Mami ngena laphana nithatha impilo yenu nifake engozini.
Uyazi ukuthi ikhona into siyicabangayo baba Makhwele. laphansi kukhona abantu abangafanga abalimele and most yabantu abangamaphoyisa umsebenzi lo kungena phansi abawazi Nkosi yami so thina sizwe kuhlungu ngoba sijakela ukoseva umphefemulo lo olapha yani yiloko kusizwele sakuhlungu sivumelana nawe baba njengomuntu omkhulu nomqondo uyasibonisa kwezinye izinto but just because kunaleyo mphefemulo siyaziyo ukuthi bayaphila abanye sijaka ukuthi igovernment kube ingasiye abasiyeke sizenzele sibalande laba bazayo sibabekela eduze nani sibali kunjani
baba izolo
Well, the police and some of the relatives of those who remain trapped are certainly in discussion at this point about what needs to happen next, as the relatives say they cannot allow their loved ones to remain underground with their future uncertain at this point. Police trying to convince them not to go underground, but unsuccessfully so at this point, as these relatives say they simply cannot fold their arms. And this discussion here between the police and these relatives continues, but they really need to, if I may, twist their arm a little bit more, as these relatives say. They simply cannot wait at this stage there, Urban. But we'll bring you a lot more from here at the mine in Langlaagte, where we're expecting, of course, again, which will bring you live the arrival of the Mineral Resources Minister Musebenzi Zwane. I guess we'll try to come and convince these relatives at this stage that going underground would not be in their best interest. It's unsafe. It's dangerous to go underground this disused mine. So police would need to continue engaging the relatives who are quite distraught and waiting for any news at this point on whether this rescue mission will get underway at all at this stage. But we'll certainly bring you more. We are expecting, of course, the minister, we understand, is in that discussion with the police at this stage and the other stakeholders, which would include, of course, the city of Johannesburg's emergency services. And we'll certainly have a bit more clarity on what happens next here at this stage.
Thank you very much to Griselda there. As you can see, it's all happening at the back there. I doubt if she could hear me. I wanted to ask about the volatile exchanges that can be expected. As you can see, emotions are running high. We'll be back with Griselda as soon as anything develops, or as well a little bit later when the minister is expected. But Griselda, can you hear me?
Thank you. We're off.
Okay, no, she can't hear me. She's off, she says. She's off. Not off too far, because the Mineral Resources Minister will be there shortly. As soon as he gets there, he is expected to do a press conference. Griselda will be talking to him, get an update. Also, if anything happens, we know that it's quite a volatile situation. We've seen high levels of violence between rival mining gangs in recent times. We'll be sure to be there as soon as anything happens, but we're waiting for the minister to come to make pronouncement as to how the rescue effort will proceed or if it will be suspended. As you can see, mining family members of those miners trapped underground, they want to go in under, well, it's now a very